So I think that they've got the right person in that CEO spot, and then they've got Steph in the other one. They're co-CEOs, and I think you put I call him. I mean, he's Paul to me because he's a close, dear friend of mine. But you put the magic that he has and the creative mind that he has. Um, I just think that moving forward, I think it's going to be a dynamic that does take this company up and forward.
Where is that
So
next level, though, Kev? Where is that next level? I have to call him Triple H because I don't know him. You can call him Paul. I'm going to call him Triple H. What do you think's going to happen? You know him. You know his likes and dislikes. You know how he sees the business, having spent so much time personally with him and professionally working with and coming up with stuff with him. What do you think WWE 2025 will look like as compared to maybe 2015?
right. I think one of the problems that the company has right now is that Raw is 3 hours long. I thought that was the demise of Nitro. Is when we went 3 hours. 3 hours is too long. It's asking your fan base every Monday to watch fucking Titanic or Avatar. It's just too fucking long. I would love to see a breakaway of Raw and have Raw be a mature, an M-rated show and be played Friday nights, um, maybe on FX. I don't know where they can get a deal with, but where they could, I'm so tired of seeing guys say, I want to kick your butt, and you drive by a fucking a bus stop with third graders, and guys like, hey, you fucking cocksucker, I'll kick you in the fucking dick, and those are third graders. Like, what planet are we living on here where it's just like, oh no, it needs to be, yeah, right.
So you'd clear Raw of any censorship where you
I'm
couldn't
sure.
use bad
I'm sure
language.
that I'm like I just watched Jeff Bridges and the Old Man, and they say fuck and they have sex, and it's not it's not graphic, but it's graphic enough.
Hmm.
Animal Kingdom
Yeah.
on TBS is graphic. I think that's you need something for that audience, and then take NXT, which you already once they got fucking behind Paul's back, turned it into Nickelodeon. Have that be the Saturday fucking show for the kids. I mean, to me, the worst thing you can do to a small arena is overproduce it and over fucking light it and show exactly, how small the arena is.
So like the NXT shows you're talking about
Yeah, I
in
would
the
because they used to have like a Fight Club feel,
right.
and that was not fucking show. That was a show I watched. It wasn't because my buddy fucking booked it. It was because that was a show I enjoyed. And I don't know. We'll see.
Well, how could you handle like pay-per-views, let's say, if you had that dual track? You had Raw, which was Friday nights, uncensored, edgy angles, and then you had a more sanitized NXT product. What happens on pay-per-view? Can they cross
Yeah,
shows or
yeah, because now you're talking. We go back to MMA. We go back to to an MMA. It's just it's about ring work. It's about that's the one thing that I've always said that people say that sooner or later pro wrestling will die, and I'd be like, no, because there's so many times in my life that I have paid. Nowadays it's $111 by the time you get high def and everything else. It's fucking sperm sample and a fucking poop smear. But for me, it's like I know that Lesnar and Reigns aren't going to go fucking 30 seconds at
Hmm.
SummerSlam. I know that for a fact. So I mean, you and when it's done well, and it's done right and it's shot well and shot right, it's fucking it's magic.
Now, of course, another news item over the last couple of weeks was the WWE, the program Raw, going to TVMA. Or no, TV. What did they go to? They go to
What,
MA.
what,
They went to PG.
14, right?
14, that's what it's called now. Yeah.
Yeah, 14.
Again, sign of age. There was just 3 fucking ratings back in the day.
I'd go back to 11 soft, but 14, if that's all they can get, fucking,
14 ripping, baby. So a deliberate move, just something they had to do because the product was getting edgier, or is this something you think Triple H was? Well, I was actually probably in discussion before this if it was deliberate, so it would have been Vince and Triple H talking about a more edgy direction for the company.
Yeah, I think it has to be. I think that's what when you go back to the Attitude Era, and people will come up to guys that were in that era, and they'll say, you know what, I watched the show, and it's just not. Guess what? Of course, it's not the same show because there's nobody pulling a hand out of some woman's vagina that's 90 years old on today's show. So what we got away with in the 90s. Uh, and what they can get away with now, especially under the guise of PG. I mean, fuck. So
Well, that's an interesting point because you have to, what you're taking into account now is like the sensitivity, the cancel culture and the sensitivity of the viewer. There's the stuff on television now is much more explicit than it ever was. However, there's certain subjects that you couldn't broach
right
on television today. I don't know how would the Mae Young hand play it? You think that would be okay? You could probably do it in a movie, a horror movie. Yeah. So to that point, let's talk about Triple H for another minute here. Now he has as I think today was the announcement, he took over creative officially, right? In addition to his other duties. Well, isn't this what he was doing before with Vince? I mean, to say he had no creative input would be naive. Yes.
I don't think that especially towards I mean before anything happened with his health, I think that that Paul kind of pulled back and focused on NXT because it was just I have been Vince will fucking not have the show done. I remember when I was working with CM Punk and Phil and I would just be sitting there, and of course it didn't affect me because they gave me no fucking verbiage, but fucking Phil had Phil they made Phil fucking they wanted him to he could go off point, but they wanted the basic bullets, and we just look at each other, man, and be like fucking the pyros starting, and we don't even have fucking. And everybody's like, "I see you out there. I'll see you out there." Like,
So it was that unstructured.
it just Vince just never, I think that right now, guaranteed one thing that happened this Monday was that it was, people knew what but probably by 5 o'clock, people had a concrete idea exactly what was going to fucking happen in the guard, which it was such a. To me, it was like because I was excited because Paul was in charge of creative, and then when they opened up, man, and the fucking I think it's called the 16 camera. It's that fucking that beauty shot of fucking
Top,
yeah. I mean, it looked like Game 7 of the Knicks' wildest dream of fucking having a championship team back in the Garden. It was just and it was like, and on top of it, man, it's a fucking guard. Like that's their home, that's their backyard, that's their home court. And for those people, I mean, they were rabid. It was, you know, and there was, I mean, just the fact that when Theory came out and fucking Reigns looked at him and said, "Your daddy's gone, boy."
Mm.
You know, so I mean, they made reference to it. It wasn't like the fucking elephant in the room type thing. So they made reference to it.
Are we going to see Shane again?
I don't know.
What are you hearing? You hearing anything?
As a stockholder, I'd say watch and stay tuned. I have no idea. Paul and I sent him a text and I basically just said, "Congratulations." I said, I said, "It's wonderful." I said, the business couldn't be in better hands than you and Stephanie. And I'm looking forward to seeing what magic you guys do on your blank canvas. Not that canvas from Czechoslovakia, but a blank canvas put
Please,
directly in
Bulgaria.
front.
Bulgaria.
You say tomato, I say Czechoslovakia.
Does